The Mahdi coming after the COVID-19, the Imam Mahdi. Today we'll talk about that because this video is going to be very important. But before we talk about it, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing because we talk about current situation of the Muslim Ummah in light of the Quran and Sunnah. We talk about the Dajjal, the Mahdi, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, the end of time, the Sa'ah. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. I was actually watching a very interesting video, even though the title was very enticing of that video, but the video itself did not really answer a lot of questions that we have. The video basically said that the coming of the Mahdi will take place right after COVID-19, something along that line. So I was watching that video and I did not really find any answer. The title was not incongruent with what the content of the video was. So I've decided to talk about it, inshallah, from my limited knowledge. Very important for us all, for all of us to understand. COVID-19 did not come because of China, because Allah Azza wa Jal wanted to punish them. That is certain for sure, because most of the people who suffered are not Chinese. It is in fact the US people. In other words, we do not know the wisdom of Allah Azza wa Jal, but few things that we can derive, that we can infer from our surroundings, from our observations. One of the things that we find out, which is very important, this thing is very important, is the fact that it shook the status quo. In other words, this COVID-19, it shook the status quo in every country. It changed the situation in Lebanon, in Saudi Arabia, Israel. Even Netanyahu is struggling a lot with his popularity. In fact, it says that COVID-19 betrayed Netanyahu. They put it that way. Because of COVID-19, situation in Saudi Arabia changed. The Vision 2030 right now in jeopardy, because they are, even though they're working really hard, they continue to spend money on this project. But nevertheless, Mohammed bin Salman, he knows he cannot finish this project by 2030. That's my point. And that is happening again because of the COVID-19. In other words, it has changed pretty much everything that we have known so far. Most of the time it is the people, the poor people, who are paying for it. As we know, the rich people are getting richer. For example, Jeff Bezos, the founder, the CEO of Amazon, he actually garnered a lot more wealth during this time than he had done in the past. He actually he added billions of dollars actually the last few weeks. In other words, what I'm trying to get at is that rich people are getting richer and poor people are getting laid off. They're losing their jobs, they're losing their businesses, restaurants are closed, farmers cannot go to the field to cultivate their crops because again of the lockdown. It is happening everywhere in the world that you are not actually allowed to go out. So the poor people are paying for it. The important thing here to understand, dear brothers and sisters, is that gap and imbalance of property, well, that you will see huge imbalance, huge gap. And this is exactly is the perfect ground for the Mahdi to appear. You heard it right. When this gap between the rich and poor will be widened is when you will see widespread oppression, injustice, inequality. And that is the time when Allah Azza wa Jal will send Mahdi. And this is not what I'm saying, it is the hadith that talks about it. That the earth, يملك الأرض عدل والقسط كما مليت زورا وظلم. The earth will be filled with adl and qist, just like as it was filled with injustice, oppression, inequality, rich between the gap, the gap between the rich and poor will widen even more. That's my point. Now the question is the Mahdi coming right after COVID-19, or how long it can take? One of the important things that we have to understand here is that the Mahdi, when it comes, only Allah knows exactly when that will happen. However, we do have some hints. We do have something that we can talk about. It depends on the impact of this COVID-19 will have on the economic situation of certain countries. How severe that impact is, or how fast those countries can recover from their losses, will determine eventually when the Mahdi will appear. If they are not able to recover from their losses, then his coming, the coming of the Mahdi, according to my limited knowledge, his coming will be way faster. The reason is because when the Mahdi will come, the people, the countries, they will be fighting with each other for their survival. If they cannot provide food and shelter to their people, then these countries will actually invade other lands. In other words, it will be the survival of the fittest. That will give birth to more oppression, because bigger countries, more powerful countries will be oppressing the weaker countries, the poorer countries. When you see that is happening on a grand scale, you can be inshallah sure that the coming of the Mahdi is just about to happen. Now, this is also a very important thing to understand, that right now I talked about China and US situation, and I told you that his temperament, Donald Trump, right now is not too much. He is not stopping at anything at the moment to punish China. We hope that this issue will be resolved sooner than later. But one thing, if you ask me, am I scared of WW3, that means World War III, Malhama? If you ask me that question, am I scared? Am I seeing that is happening or that is coming? The answer to that question would be yes. I'm very, very scared, and I can see it is coming. Whether it is coming in weeks, months, in years, but it is coming. And dear brothers and sisters, every day I live my life on this earth, I just wait for the news when China will strike US. Wallahi. China would, according to my understanding, would probably go after Australia first. They can maybe second strike US. Or it could be the other way around. Because when you see two people fighting verbally and pinpointing and pointing fingers and picking on each other all the time, when you see that is happening continuously, it creates a very vicious environment, and none of the parties will be able to get out of it until they finish the other one off. China, US, what they're doing right now, they are in that vicious environment, and for them to back out, the only way, the only exit that they have right now is to finish the other one off. Once that guy is gone and out, then the other guy can rest in peace. Until that happens, it will not stop. So when we talk about bigger countries invading smaller countries and poorer countries, that is there. That is a great possibility that will happen. But at the same time, we can also see some major conflict between major powers. So big countries fighting with the smaller, the tiny ones, At the same time, big powerful countries are fighting each other. And this is the perfect situation for that to happen, because China became so aggressive, their economy grew so much over the past decades that they compare themselves with US. It never happened in the past. There was always US, and nobody was even close, like this much, maybe even more distance. But China then caught up. Now they're almost equal to US. And when you have two superpower claiming superiority, they're gonna face off and get the other one out of the way and knock it off, right? That is a great possibility. So my point here, dear brothers and sisters, is that we live in a very tough time. A lot of fitna happening. We have been desensitized to so many things. The suffering of the Muslims. If you take a look at the suffering of the Muslim, we don't really care much anymore. Look at the pictures that come on social medias. When you take a look at children getting hurt, do you feel anything? No. Why? Because you have been desensitized by looking at these pictures so often. And when that happens, the punishment of Allah comes, and see, things get even out of control. And when the punishment of Allah comes, after that what comes is good. My point here is that before the coming of the Mahdi, things will get even much worse until it gets better. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned about this situation, about this scenario, حَتَّى إِذَا تَيَّسَ الرَّسُلُ وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ قَدْ كُذِبُوا. That when these messengers were denied and they knew that people will never accept their message, جَاءَهُمْ نَصْرُنَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent His nasr, His victory, means punishment. And He save those He wants. And then Allah says, وَلَا يُرَدُّ بَعْسُنَا عَنِ الْقَوْمِ الْمُجْرِمِينَ. That the punishment cannot be averted for the people of Mujrimin. We, right now, are Mujrimin. We are criminals. The way things are right now is not fair. People in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, everywhere you look at the Muslim countries, we are not doing enough for each other. We need to help out each other. That's very, very important. And when we fail to do that, حتى Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned حتى إذا تيأس الرسل وظنهم أن قد كذبوا جاءهم نصرنا. The punishment of Allah will come. So in addition to waiting for the Mahdi to come, we also have a responsibility to help out each other and pray for each other, make dua as much as possible, so that when the Mahdi will come, we will be ready in our hearts, not physically, not financially, but in our hearts, which is even more important. And that way we can, inshallah, be in the party of Mahdi, not in the party of Dajjal. Like this video if you did, share this video, leave your comments, and I will see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.